Hey everybody, welcome back to Twisted Guidance Tarot. I am Poetry. You are here because I'm going to try to continue my my walkthrough tarot series where I'm going through each card individually with all the decks that I have, and I show you what I'm seeing in the cards, so that way when you listen to my tarot readings on this channel, you can get a full understanding of why I'm saying some of the certain things that I'm saying. And we've already done the Fool, so if you haven't seen that video, please check that out. And we've already done the Magician. I think the Fool video is called Everybody Plays the Fool. Everybody plays the fool sometimes. There's no exception to the rule. Listen, baby. All right, and then we also, like with the Magician, I think I got a title, Do You Believe in Magic? Do you believe in magic? So this particular one is about the High Priestess, which I couldn't find a song for the High Priestess. I kept just thinking, bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh. But the High Priestess is not necessarily about love. She's about wisdom, about knowledge. She's ornery, argumentative. She is a symbol of feminism, womanhood, the protector of knowledge, in your inner wisdom, when you want to listen to your inner intuition and your stuff like that. So that's how I see the High Priestess and what I've learned about the High Priestess over time. So I have my decks here. I did not bring my boxes, so if I don't remember where these decks came from, forgive me. But this is from the A.E. Waite deck. That is the High Priestess there, who's sitting on her throne. She's surrounded by two pillars. She has the crescent moon at her feet. She has the Torah in her lap, cross on her chest. She's looking very regal and astute there. And I'm going to go back to them individually. Then we have the High Priestess from Cedro Mortuary's Gilded Tarot. She seems to be flying high. Again, her two pillars are represented. Her crescent moon is still high in the sky. She's not even on the ground. She seems to be floating. Then, this is from my one of the newest decks that wasn't in the last video. The High Priestess from the Afro-Brazilian Tarot. She seems to be cleaning up the circle of protection is what that looks like to me. Sweeping away evil. The High Priestess from the Miss Cleo Tarot deck is more closely related to the Rider-Waite system. She has her candles of light, her two pillars as well. Her crescent moon at her feet doesn't look like a crescent moon. It looks like bull horns, but that's what that is, the crescent moon. Now, even though she does adorn the heart, I still don't see her as, maybe she's speaking from the heart. I'll look at it that way. Then for my Everyday Witch Tarot, this High Priestess is a little bit different than the rest. She does still have her two towers represented. They're black and white. The candle pillars, all seeing, all knowing, with her fortune-telling crystal ball. She has a tarot card. She has her crystals. She's surrounded by books. So it's actually not as different than I thought it was initially. This from the Manga Tarot. Manga. I still haven't figured out how to pronounce it. This one reminds me of my Aunt Rose. Do you see the look on her face? She looks quite annoyed, quite peeved. You see her hand in this side. It looks like it's bones. In this side, she's like on one step away from death. And this character herself looks very young, but the High Priestess is normally regarded as someone that's very old and wise to me. We still have her crescent moons, but I think every card in this deck is represented by those moons in the corner. We see the moon anywhere on this deck. Other than in those corners, I don't see the moon reflected. She does still have her scroll of knowledge. But I see in this one cherry blossoms, which I'm going to speak a little bit about that this time, because I am learning how to look at these cards and see time, season, locations as well. So hopefully, like I say, I'm sitting outside of work. I don't feel like going into work right now. Sybil is what she's called in the Tarot of the Moors. Again, her two towers are there. You have the dark side and the light side. And like I say, the one is black and white. So they're looking at not negative and positive, because she has a dark side of her. She can be very argumentative, very disagreeable. She has a light side to her, or, like I say, the wise counsel, the seer. Again, she has her scroll. Almost like she has hidden knowledge. She's always seems to be looking over her shoulder, watching around her. She's the nosy neighbor sitting in the window that knows everything that's going on in the neighborhood. The last two decks, this is from the Dreams of Gaia deck, and she doesn't have the High Priestess in her deck, but she has the crone. The crone is usually an old, ugly, thin woman, but she, again, is a symbol of femininity. There's the moon again, so she represents the night, as far as like time, the cycle. She actually represents death. So you have to look at between fall and winter as far as season goes. Again, she has the raven behind her, which is a messenger. So she has a message for you. She is a possessor of some type of acute powers or intuition. There's a lot of things going on with that one as well. And then my High Priestess from the everyday, not the everyday witch, it's just the everyday tarot. Everyday enchantment tarot. This High Priestess, and there's another one in the deck too, that she looks high. She literally takes on the literal meaning of the word high, as far as a physical state. She looks like she's strung out. Life is like really taking a toll. Look at her face. Life is really taking a toll on her. She has her mirror that's making the own reflection of the moon. She's also always represented by water as well. In a few cases, a few of these cards, there's her candle there. She has her pillars in this one. She's sitting on some stairs, and there's a wall behind her, but I wouldn't necessarily call it pillars. And then she doesn't have, if she had a black cat and a white cat, then I would just go with that. But she has her books there as well for the knowledge. Her crescent moon, again, not only is a reflection in the water, but her crescent moon necklace on her chest, she has that as well. So these are the High Priestess cards that I'm going to discuss today. So, like I said, when I look at these cards, I see individual meaning in each of these. The Afro-Brazilian Tarot has been the hardest one for me to interpret. Because a lot of the cards are based off of the Santeria religion, and I'm not very familiar with that, and I don't understand the progression. Because some of these cards, you will see this card and then you'll see the next one, and it looks like they just stepped to the right or stepped to the left, or they added another coin to the plate, but nothing else really changed. So this deck has been the hardest one for me to use, although I love the imagery. I love the connection with the African diaspora. But so on this particular High Priestess deck, what I'm seeing, like I said, this looks like the circle of protection that they use a lot in different religions, the Wiccan religion. And usually with the circle of protection, from what I understand, they put down a ring of salt or some type of protective crystal that they use on the ground. And she seems to be, like I say, in this one, sweeping away darkness or evil. She still has her candle with the fire there, being represented as it's lighting the way to knowledge. So you're trusting yourself that you are warding away sins. This card, when I see it, this deck itself seems very heavy and dark to me. So yeah, when I see this High Priestess, I see this card as someone needing to take a look at the sins that they have inside of them and get rid of that shit. That's what I see when I see that High Priestess card. Got people just pulling up. Hold on real quick. So for the Sierra Machiri deck, like I said, she has the two pillars being represented, but I do not see like the positive and negative or the black and white that most other decks represent. Again, it's represented by the moon is showing there to show me that this is some type of activity that is happening at night. She's kind of like floating, like I said. She's high off the ground and floating. So this one plus the one, the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, I see as a literal being high. Hold on a second. All right, so yeah, I was just trying to explain to him about what am I doing. So her eyes seem to be masked, or they seem to be veiled. So again, there's some type of hidden truth or something hidden that needs to be uncovered, or that she is keeping covered. And like I said, when I see this, when I see an inner reflection as well, she's represented by water. So like, again, when I looked at that first one from the Afro-Brazilian, I see this being as, if I'm looking at location, somewhere dry, yeah, a dry location, warm location. There's some greenery, so probably like in the forest, the jungle, maybe camping. But this one is more representative of water to me. So like around beachy scenes or lakes, ponds. But it's definitely happening at nighttime if I was going to look at a season or a time. But things are about to change. Your world is being turned around, but there's things that's hidden that this card is going to help be revealed for you. So our typical Rider-Waite tarot, this one has more of a religious aspect to it to me, because of all the Torah and the cross. I forgot what the B and the J stood for. It has something to do with religion too, but I don't like to look at that as from a religious standpoint, because I'm not into organized religion, which is again why I don't read tarot the way that Rider-Waite wanted us to read it. Like, he researched the occult to but I'm not a Wiccan. I'm not a pagan, and I'm not a Christian, and I'm just a believer of spiritual connections with my higher power. But yeah, so she has her crescent moon at her feet, which for me, this symbolizes that the knowledge that she has to share is going to be brought to you either in your dreams, is when it is going to be revealed, or as the moon sets, then this is going to be when you're going to, whatever's going to happen, the information or the event is going to happen, that's when it's going to be revealed. Because like, her garment is holding the moon down, so it's bringing it down. I said when the moon sets. The moon doesn't set, that's the sun. But you understand what I'm saying. But like I say, she has the duality of the matching pillars, the positive and the negative side of her, the light and the dark, the shadow and, the light. And I'm not exactly sure what those items are behind her. They look to me like pomegranates in the pictures. Does it look like pomegranates to you? Does it look like it's a bunch of seeds? And I remember a story about pomegranates before from the Bible. That's why I'm thinking this is very biblical. in this particular card, but I don't remember it in detail. So if y'all know the story I'm talking about that has to do with pomegranates in the Bible, or let me know. Because like the High Priestess was also said to be Lilith, and Lilith was supposed to have been Adam's first wife. And then some biblical stories, they say that it wasn't an apple that Eve bit, it was a pomegranate she was eating. This High Priestess here, again, she her pillars are surrounding her, but they aren't black and white. But she does have her candle, basically light and truth. She has her scroll or her in hand as well, not revealing what's information. So she has hidden information and hidden secrets that she's able to share. She's like wise counsel. Again, her crescent moon is tied down. So this is representing to me that either, like say, this is when at night when your dreams are happening is when your information, your truth will be revealed. She has the Ankh staff, which is a symbol of the femininity that I'm speaking of. So yeah. And they always look so evil and mean. That's why I said the one with the manga reminded me of my damn Aunt Rose. And this one is a very good depiction of the wise counsel because of, like say, the crystal ball, the crystals, the tarot cards, the books. She's all seeing, all knowing. She has both candles, the black and the white, for the positive and the negative energy. Like say, the High Priestess has both sides to her. She's very wise, very has a lot of information. If you think about the old, like say, the old grandmama, the old woman in the neighborhood, they know everybody's business. They know secrets that people don't know, and like you go talk to them, like, really? Or those are the ones you can sit down and talk to, and they give you all the old stories from the day, and you be like, dang, that really happened. That type of person. But they could be the most honoriest people in the world. That's how I see the High Priestess. They always, but this one seems like you're able to come to her compared to these others who seem like like I say, her, like, I don't want to say shit to her, but she got some knowledge. But like I say, she's one cycle between life and death. And with the High Priestess, like I say, she's usually very old, an older woman, one with a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge. Even though this character doesn't look very old, a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge. And she has secrets that people don't know about, and she will check you on your shit. I've been feeling like I'm kind of like that person sometimes, because I keep, like, every text message you've ever sent me, I got that shit. So if something come up, I can put it back up and say, no, you said on this date, this right here. That seems like what she's doing to me. She is checking the list and making it twice. She might as well be Santa Claus' wife. She has very, very, and she has powers that you don't understand or unexplained. I just went to go see the movie Maleficent last night, and her hair reminds me of Maleficent's horns. And Maleficent had a power and understanding that nobody could understand. Even her own people was like, okay, somebody backing up, and I'm trying to figure out what they're doing. I ain't sure. Oh, it was in somebody's parking spot. Who is that person? Oh, that's somebody new. We got some new people. They're gonna quit soon, probably. Ain't no telling. But yeah, so with this particular one, if I'm looking at seasons and time, because of the cherry blossoms, I see this as spring. Usually with the High Priestess, like I say, is usually representing fall or winter. But in this particular one, I'm seeing the beginning of spring. And it's kind of, for United States, it's still considered the winter because it's beginning in January. So this is going from like January to April for me, for this particular card. I don't see the fall, winter season here. The Sybil. I kind of like really went through her before. Again, dry desert land area. So if I look at location, so summer is what I'm seeing here, or it could possibly be spring because she's still covered, so it's still kind of cool. Actually, no, so they keep covered. If I'm looking at the African and Middle Eastern countries, yeah, she probably stay covered anyway to protect herself from the sun. But like, again, she has her scroll with whatever information that she has on it. But she seems to be looking over her shoulder, always being aware of what's going on in her surroundings. So I see with Sybil, the crone. The crone again tells us so much. And like I say, I see the crone as being equal to the high priestess. Very old, very wise, can be disagreeable, can be argumentative. But the bearer of knowledge, the bearer of wisdom, she has a message for you. Basically telling you to trust your gut, trust your intuition. Still represented by the light and the dark without having the pillars. You have the white, the light, daylight there. And then here you have the nighttime represented with the moon. Again, this one here is taking me to fall and winter as far as the seasons are going. The high priestess also is known to have some type of inner power. I also see the high priestess as a seer of sorts. You know, in comparison to the Hierophant, I can never pronounce it. The Hierophant basically has someone that speaks directly to God, and this one, she looks at signs and symbols and animals to tell you what the message is. It can be very prophetic. She watches what she does. She just pays attention to her surroundings. This is a card that's basically telling you to trust your gut, trust your intuition. Okay, so for our final one, the high priestess with the everyday enchantment tarot. Like I said, she is the literal sense of being high to me. So when I see this one, I see addiction, being strung out, being tired. She's holding the mirror. Like, do you look in the mirror? Do you see what I see? Do you see yourself? Man in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Even if she was looking to that reflection, she would see herself staring back at her, and she's like, there's a message in this. Like, I see her birds, her tattoo marks, I don't know, as junkie lines, even though they're birds, but I see them as junkie lines. And yeah, she has a message for you in that. Again, she's represented by the night. But like I said, there's a slickness or a slyness to her. So you got to be careful and trust your judgment, trust your intuition. See the fox there? The curiosity kills the cat. This cat is like, I'm up out this joint. But then the black cat. So you have the I guess the positive and the negative light there. Her candle is still there lit, saying that there's information that she has the ability to share. But yeah. All right, y'all. I think it's time for me to go to work. Like, I don't know when I was going to be able to sit down and actually do this video again with you. So I wanted to do it now. So I just want to thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this series. Listen to me and my wise counsel. And you guys have a great day. All right. Thank you for watching again. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already subscribed. And again, I may do personal readings again in the month of December. So just be looking out on the channel. Look for the links in the description bar for how to obtain a personal reading. But again, they'll probably start again in December. Thank you so much for coming back. Peace.